The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.
Welcome to the Tim Heale Podcast. Well, I've got a treat for you this time. Not one, but two. So, here we go. This is going to be a challenge. Trust me. These guys bounce off each other all the time. So, Rob, Chris, you're in the room. Where'd you gone?
There he is. There's Bill for himself.
So, what we normally do then is we ask my guests when and where they were born, and then get them to describe what it was like when they grew up, and the schools they went to, and the education they got.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Who wants to go first?
I go first.
Oh, no.
All right, here we go.
Go on.
So, how's everybody doing? I'm Chris. I was born in San Francisco, California at St. Luke's Hospital. I grew up in the Southern Peninsula down there in Daly City and San Bruno, California. I went to Cappuccino High School. Yes, Cappuccino High School was the name of my school. You got to love it. A little bit about me growing up down there. I was a baseball player. I did pretty good, played a little college ball and got injured. That's kind of the beginning.
No, it's not. Now you've missed out your kindergarten. You missed out your middle school. You missed out.
I can't remember that far back.
Come on, get with the program. You know how it works.
So I went to Daniel Webster Elementary School. That was the first elementary school I went to. Then I went to Allen Elementary School in San Bruno. Then I went to Parkside Intermediate School in San Bruno, and then Cappuccino High School. Then I did a year at Kenyatta College, and then came up to Sacramento and did a couple of years at American River College.
What year did you do the 3 months of juvenile hall?
Never. Anyway, that's a different story.
So let's have a look at the area that you grew up in then.
Yeah.
In sort of San Francisco's Northern California. So I suppose that's where it always rains, because it doesn't rain in Southern California, does it?
It doesn't rain in Northern California.
It doesn't rain in California, period, anymore.
Oh my gosh, it is
like
awful.
Once every 365 days. We get it whether we like it or not.
But it is cold in San Francisco.
Yes.
Constantly.
It's like the median temperature is 66 degrees if you're lucky.
Isn't it? Wasn't it? Mark Twain said the coldest summer he spent in San Francisco or something like that.
The coldest winter I ever spent was a summer I spent in San Francisco.
What it was.
Yep.
Outrageous.
I remember that. I have a hard time remembering my own name.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Yeah, it is.
So how far were you from Alcatraz then?
So I literally was it would take us 10 minutes to get to where you would take off from, but with the San Francisco traffic, it took almost an hour.
Because nobody walks, do they?
No. Everybody drives. And then you got to get on a little ferry to Alcatraz, which, living down there and being in Northern California for almost 3 years, I've never done it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ferries in San Francisco too.
See, That's where people go wrong. They don't investigate what they've got on the doorstep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, I live where I live in Gosport. I mean, I've done the dockyards, and I'm a regular visit, actually.
There you go.
I go up to the Explosive Museum, I go into the Dive Museum, I go into the Submarine Museum, all over the place like a rash.
Yeah.
So I do the history that's on the doorstep. And you've got Alcatraz. I mean, Clint Eastwood was locked up in there.
We have so much around our area.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
We do.
The Napa wine areas, the
you got
Lake Tahoe.
You got wine, you got Tahoe, you got the mountains, you got the beach.
The beach.
It's
everything within 2.5.
Yeah,
3
from
hours.
where we're at, everything's 2.5 hours away, basically.
But we're always asked. Like I have
That's a
friends
day
that,
out.
Yeah. I have friends that always say, "Oh, I'm coming to LA. You should come and see me." And I'm like, that's 7 hours away.
Yeah, that's a little bit too far.
California is long but skinny.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Chris.
Yeah.
What was the most enjoyable thing you found at school to do?
Ooh, girls. I mean, sorry. I know I'm going to hell for that one. It's okay.
Wow.
But you know what? I really, really enjoyed. It was called Principles of Technology and a leadership class. There were 2 separate classes that I had. They were my favorite classes besides PE and obviously girls. But I'll tell you what, Principles of Technology basically taught me that how to use technology, because back in the 1980s, you really didn't know what it was and all that kind of good stuff. So I really enjoyed that. And then I had a teacher by the name of Miss Gray who taught leadership. And she was from New Zealand. And I fell in love with her accent, which made me like the class even more, because it just kind of drew you in, and it was pretty cool.
Is it?
Oh yes. And no, but I felt that that's where a lot of my leadership skills came from. Being a coach for so many years after the fact, I felt that I learned a great deal from that one little class from her to be able to pass it on over the 30 plus years of coaching that I did.
So did you have an accent?
No, I did not.
See, you missed.
I know.
So tell us a little bit about your baseball.
Yes, I was a baseball player. I played football, baseball, and I wrestled. So now American football.
Yeah. What position did you play?
So, hey, I was a catcher for baseball. Football, I played nose tackle. So I was on the defensive line. I like to hit people.
So you like to hit people, punch through, and get the quarterback. How many sacks did you get in your career?
That is a great question.
I know. I asked it.
You don't know the answer.
I honestly do not remember. Wow.
That means you didn't get many.
No, I had a few. Our league was a lot of run. Basically a run league, so I had a lot of stuffs. But as far as QB sacks, I don't remember too many. Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess a nose tackle, you've got the what do you call it, the ball thingy.
Yeah,
he's got the ball, so he's
center,
got one thing to
guards. Oh yeah,
yeah, he's got one thing to do before he can defend himself.
Oh yeah, and there are a lot of times where I felt like I was triple teamed. So I mean, it worked out good.
Still talking about football?
Yes, easy Sparky. This Jamoke, I'm telling you, he's being ornery over here. I don't know if
we'll get to him in a minute. Don't you worry.
I have to be seen, so I'm not just going to say.
Right, all right. Let's park you there. Let's park you there for a couple of minutes. Rob, come on in.
Yes, sir.
Let's go from where and when were you born?
I was. I was north of San Francisco. He was south of San Francisco. I was north on the other side of. Everybody knows the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
One side of San Francisco. The other side is where I grew up. I grew up in Terra Linda, which is a small town of San Rafael in Marin County. Alcatraz, I could pretty much just see from. I'm kind of like Sarah Palin. I could see Russia from my backyard. Alcatraz was like just across the water from the bay where I could actually see it from most of my friends' houses, actually. So I went to Dixie.
He spent a lot of time there too.
I did. I've been to Alcatraz many times. That's right. I actually enjoyed where I grew up and actually spent time and did a lot of things there. I went to Dixie Elementary School. I was kind of I was a terrible kid. One of my favorite stories there was I got in trouble in 3rd grade because I told a girl I could see your bra strap, and I got sent to the principal's office. And I was really upset about why I even got in trouble for that. I just was telling her that her bra strap was exposed.
And
And
that's 3rd grade.
that was 3rd grade, and she had a bra. I get whatever you call it then.
And that's the story, and he's sticking to it.
So I was so mad. I'm in the principal's office, and he had a whole bunch of pencils in there. And he had left me in the room for a second. So I grabbed the pencil and started throwing them, and I put them all into the ceiling, just like 25 of them. And he walked in and he goes, "What the hell is going on?" And I said, if I'm going to get in trouble for something, I might as well get in trouble for something that I really did that was bad. That was me in 3rd grade. So
That's
he's
still
mad. He
him
makes
today.
me leave. He's all, "I'll talk to you later. I'm going to call your dad." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And my dad tells me later, he says, "I got a call from the principal." And the principal couldn't stop laughing, telling him the story. He's like, "I just had to let him go at that point because I can't be mad at him for the fact that he was right." So that was me in middle school or elementary.
And you got to understand something. Rob would be equivalent of 2.3 meters tall, and he's been that way since the 3rd grade.
I'm baby
Okay.
Kiwi, right?
Yeah.
No, I was always short. I was a little short guy for a long time. And then middle school, I got really roly-poly and heavy. And then about 7th grade, actually, middle school, I had a friend from soccer, and his mom wanted to run the Beta Breakers. That's a big race out here. It's really fun. People are in costumes and everything in San Francisco. And so they said, "Would you train with us and run it?" And so I did, and it changed my life. I'd say that's a turning point. Him and his mom changing my life by running the Beta Breakers. And it was really hard. I was a big kid, and it was hurting my knees and all that stuff, but I accomplished it. And then I did it about 5 more times after that and became quite an athlete. I became a swimmer right after that immediately, and became extremely competitive in swimming. In high school, I did football. I started off as a center and an outside linebacker, which is kind of a weird combination because usually a lineman's big and slow and like this guy. And outside linebacker is actually somebody blitzes the quarterback or goes back and covers people. So
Yeah.
And my coach actually would they call it trapping in American football would always go out and trap or would actually pull out to lead block. And he used the center. A lot of the times I was moving. That's why he moved me to center, because he wanted somebody fast and crazy like me to go and do that. As soon as I got to varsity, I became a middle linebacker. The best claim to fame, we're our only team in the history, 147-year history of the school, to actually win a section title. And our defense for 3 games of preseason, the whole season, and then the actual 3 playoff seasons of that section title, we had a rushing against us was 334 yards total for the whole season. It was probably one of the best defenses I think I've ever seen or been a part of. And so high school was great. I also surfed every morning before school, junior and senior year, because I'm really close to the Golden Gate Bridge and a lot of beaches and stuff. It was really easy to get there. And a lot of times we'd wake up early, we'd get out there, and we would surf and wait for the sun to come up. And it was incredible to start our days that way. And we were close enough to Tahoe that, like, even in the winter, we'd surf in the morning on Friday, and we'd go to school. We get out of school, and then we drive up to Tahoe, and then a place called Boreal up here has night skiing. So we would surf the morning, and then we'd be skiing that night, ski all weekend. And then that morning, on Monday morning, we were up early. We were at the beach. We were surfing, getting back off to school. So I was obviously in a really good shape back then. I mean, now it's a shape, but it's a rounder shape.
He's a shape round.
But I just was very active in a lot of the things outside and taking use of California's ability at outside stuff and activities.
Yeah. So the surfing malarkey then.
Yes.
Because if just off of the Golden Gate Bridge there, I guess that because you've got the gap between the 2 land masses, you get quite a rush of water comes. Does it come both ways, or does it just constant going one way?
It's called the potato patch.
Is there a tide there?
So it's like a little mouth, right?
Mm.
And it comes into the bay, and the bay opens up into this big amount of water. They call it the potato patch because how many currents hit at the same place, and it's just mixing.
And it's actually dug out a path for all the ships to come through perfectly through the center.
But the currents are insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The undertow out there is crazy.
And there's a lot of great white sharks.
Yeah, a lot of great white.
You know, I had a friend of mine I was surfing with, and he was probably, I don't know, 20 yards away from me, and he got bit by a great white shark and lived. You know, we've got some great scars and stuff like that, but you know, that could have just as easily been me.
Look up the Farallon Islands.
Okay.
That's where a lot of the sharks breed, and it's unbelievably crazy. September, October, November-ish, and then they're gone for a while.
Yeah, there's basically they call it the Red Triangle. And where I surfed is basically where a lot of that happened.
Oh yeah.
Why would you do something that daft? Did you never see Jaws?
Well, they don't like it. We're not tasty. We're not fat. But basically, seals are extremely fat. And when sharks, if you don't get you on the first one, they let you go right away because you taste like crap. You know?
Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah. So, but most of the time, you just don't. I don't know. You don't even think about it when you're out there. You know, certainly. You know, I never knew that great whites went into the bay. And there's a video of a great white coming right off the Alcatraz eating a seal.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool.
So, I mean, I didn't even know that. And I used to just jump off the boat when we go fishing, and I'd swim around in the bay. And, you know, I guess you just don't even think about it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because, like, I didn't have a problem with the ocean and stuff like that. And yet I still freak out about lake water because I can't see what's below me. But why mentally messes with me like the Loch Ness Monster is going to get me? I was in the ocean with, like, predators that would want to eat anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of a wild.
Oh yes,
I mean, because there's that's on the migration route for the for the whales and stuff like that, and that's a big spectacle.
Beautiful stuff.
Does that happen every year? I mean, do you get to see that around your area?
Always migrate up.
Monterey, which is probably about an hour south of San Francisco, give or take, minute 2 or 12 or
depend on the traffic.
Yeah. Exactly. I'll tell you what, Monterey in December, if I remember correctly, they go out and they have whale watching tours, and they see some absolutely amazing things out there.
Yeah, anywhere on the coast, there's a pier off of Half Moon Bay that you literally right. Yeah, they're incredible coming across there, or up out to Point Reyes, which is in Marin, West Marin, and that whole coast area line. There's so many places to go watch whales. And it's also right off of like Half Moon Bay area is where the largest surfing competition is in the world.
Mavericks.
Yep. So I've been out there many times, and they have to and
the waves are
they have to jet ski you in.
Yeah.
You know, and basically you're waiting for the weather to hit boom, and yet you have 48 hours notice to get there anywhere in the world to compete in this surfing thing. And it's crazy.
Wow. Because the way the tides roll, and it's got to be incorporated with the moon, and it's crazy. And we're talking not your typical 5, 6, 7, 8 foot waves. We're talking 25 to 50 foot waves. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they've got a bit of fetch on them as well, right across the Atlantic from Australia, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
So there's nothing in the way to stop them.
There's so much out there because, like, I've Dungeness crabbing, I've done all that stuff, which was just really fun. A lot of great sturgeon out there. Sea bass. I was fishing out on my buddy's dad's boat. We were outside chasing the fleet, and we were a little bit off of them, and we were going for sea bass. And I was reeling in this sucker and pulling, and obviously it's a big fish, you know, and it takes a long time. Next thing I know, I got full slack, and just the head goes flying over the boat, because a shark had taken the other side.
That's awesome.
So, I was just always active, and I always like to be outside and then doing a lot of things. You know, it'll go back to Chris because he'll want to jump in a second when I mention this, but I was 18 years old and I was bouncing at nightclubs in San Francisco. And I think he was bartending at
I was
16.
bartending at 16.
You can't even drink until you're 21.
We didn't know each other.
Yeah, bartending at 2015 was a lot of fun, let me tell you.
I bet. I mean, you're not even allowed to drink until you're 21. So what's that all about?
Well, it was back in the day where they cared, but they really didn't. And it was San Francisco, and well, that's just the way it was.
Peace and love and all that, flower power.
I was bouncing. It was great because I had my football team, and we bring them in and get them in and all that stuff. And they had all these raves and stuff that happened. But we ended up having in this place. It was a 3-story nightclub. There's different songs.
TV8, right?
TV8. Yeah, that's where I was the bouncer. And they had this basement, and there was nothing going on there. We had to kind of clean it up. And I said, the Dr. Leakey was his name. He's a little Asian guy. He's a little Asian guy, gay guy. He was so cool. And I said, can I use this room with me and my football team? He's like, yeah, sure. You fix it up. And so we fixed it up. And me and my other guy, Guy, from my football team, we started this party, and we were sitting there, just us guys, and we got a couple of friends, a DJ, and had so much fun. It was just a private thing. And we were sitting there trying to figure out a name for the night. And I'm like, well, we do this on Sundays, and we spin records, so maybe it should be like Spun Day. And then like they all looked at each other and were like, that's awesome. So we named this promotion called Spun Day, but it was a very inclusive private party nightclub. And everybody started to want to get in. It became the VIP's VIP room because you couldn't get in there unless you really knew somebody. So I went off and wanted to be a pro football player, which I luckily got to get paid to play football for a very short time, but I got to do it. And that actual party still goes on today.
Does it really?
It does. You can look it up. And it's traveled around the world. Guy has kept that up, and he's been in Germany. He's been all over the world promoting Spun Day. So some of that came out of the really good times back then. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just talking. Go ahead and ask more questions.
So the club that I worked at was your prototypical yuppie club in San Francisco. It was hysterical. It truly was. It's not as fun as Spun Day, obviously, but it was a prototypical yuppie club. You know, the guys with the 3-piece suits come in, flex their arms to show their watches.
So did your night call? Was it called Pinky's Up?
Pretty close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Cows. It was on Union Street in Divisadero.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh yeah, that place was too much fun.
Yeah.
So let's just, Rob, just have a quick look at your pro career then.
Yeah, it was very short-lived.
Who did you get picked up by? Who did you play for?
Well, I ended up there's a arena ball team in San Jose called the San Jose SabreCats. And actually, before that, I actually went to this thing called an Opportunity Bowl in Las Vegas, and it was all these guys trying to get picked up pro-wise that really weren't qualified for the draft. So the World League was there, Canadian football, arena, NFL, all that stuff. So when I did the Opportunity Bowl, I did really well. I was playing linebacker. And I got calls by like 3 Canadian teams. One World League was Rain Fire, I think from Germany. Rain?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Jets actually contacted me a little bit. And then I got asked by San Jose, which was right in my backyard. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go try out for them first, see what happens. So I went to San Jose, tried out, got asked from the tryout to go and do a whole, practice with the team kind of thing. And it's in the ice arena where the San Jose Sharks hockey team is. And as soon as they were done with practice, they rolled the carpet right on top. So we're practicing on carpet on top of ice. And I'll tell you what, ice is harder than concrete.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's the worst thing to fall on in the world. Even if you got carpet down, it sucks. And you got boards, and so in arena ball, there's no out of bounds. And it's fast paced and all that.
And painful.
I was down there with San Jose. That was my first team, and then I got traded down to Anaheim. And then I was in Anaheim a little bit. Fun. Kurt Warner was in arena at the time too. We sucked. We were 2-12. But it was fun to play both ways.
Is that Germany? Anaheim, Germany?
No, Anaheim, Southern California, LA, Los Angeles.
Where Disneyland is.
Disneyland is actually in Anaheim, which is the city there. Gotcha. And a lot of sports stuff. The Angels baseball team, the Mighty Ducks hockey team are there. and we were the Anaheim Piranhas at the time.
Pterodactyls.
And so that was a lot of fun. Well, out of that, a couple of times I went back and I was coaching at some high schools back in my town and got to know that we had this 275-pound running back at our high school that was being recruited by all the big colleges. And Steve Mariucci was over at Cal. And so I was bringing him over there and stuff like that. And then Steve got a Niners head coaching job. And I had been really good friends with Pete Carroll's niece. So I knew some coaches in the NFL. So I kind of was like calling and said, hey, what's going on? And they're asking what I was doing. And so I asked, they're like, hey, you want to try out? And I'm like, yeah. So I got some tryouts and ended up finally in San Diego and had a great opportunity. Got like I got a t-shirt and tickets, but I got paid a little bit and had some fun. And that was really cool. So that was my pro career, but there's not a lot to say about it. I have a lot of respect for the guys that made it in the NFL. Those guys are freaks. I mean, you see a 300-pound guy who runs faster than any running back you ever saw in high school, chasing down quarterbacks, and you just people ask me, what was it like to play at a higher level, right? And the reality is, go out on the road and try and tackle cars, because that's what it's like. Because everybody is rock solid, muscle running. You're running at each other at 20 miles an hour and making collisions.
And something's got to give.
Something's got to give. So injuries happen. That's short-lived injuries. His little wiffle ball injury. But football is like full collision. And so I'm lucky. I mean, I would love to play, but the reality is that it was too much, and I still have injuries from it. But I know people that did play, and their injuries are horrible. Yeah. I mean, it's just, so some people can barely walk. I loved playing it, but I'm glad I didn't. Glad I didn't have a long career in that. Loved coaching, and then coaching takes up a lot of time. Oh, yes, so I became an announcer, so I could always be there. And then I started my own media company where I actually could cover all the local sports and be on the sidelines. But the best part about it being a reporter and owning your own media company is you can go to both sidelines. You can walk around the entire field that nobody else can. The whole game. You can come and go as you please. That was the best thing for me to ever do. And so that got me into being into media and get myself out there. And, I was in theater a little bit. But it's also why I wanted to start my show, which was What Up at first, and then became our show when I went online. I said, I want to go online. I was looking at personalities that I could work with, and I thought it would be great. And Chris was top of my list. And
I don't know what he was thinking.
Then, so What Up? It was a live show first with a different host, and it was great. We sold 167 tickets. I didn't lose money. We had a great time, had some great guests, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I don't like to be in walls, as you can tell. My whole upbringing was out and about and doing things, and so lockdown was terrible. So when I reached out to Chris, he's like, "Yeah, that's awesome."
Yeah,
and he's really personable too. So it worked really good. Plus, we're ridiculous.
Yeah, we are.
So, well, all that.
I can confirm. Yeah.
I'm dumb. He's dumber. Let's be honest.
Well, and it all should lead back to how Chris and I met.
Yeah.
Because I was announcing, and we used to have a wireless mic, and I could go anywhere on the field and announce. So sometimes I'd end up in the stands sitting next to parents announcing a football game. I would go down to the field, and I would announce, like cheerleaders wanted to do something with the announcer. So I'd be down there, and I'd do it with them. And there was even a game where it was completely fogged out. You couldn't see the field. And I actually went to the sideline and announced it from the sideline. But even I couldn't see the other side of the field. I'd say running back because I couldn't see the numbers. Running back for Whitney takes the pitch to the right side and off into the white, off into nothing. And then I know, and I go, it looks like it was a 5-yard game. And then after half, I came back and I'm walking up the thing. Everybody was like, thank you, because we didn't see anything.
Oh, yeah.
He was the paramedic that was at pretty much all the games.
Yeah, I did
so
a lot
he
of
would
that.
stand next to me when I'd come down, and we got to build a friendship there. And we were a part of a pretty big moment. Quarterback, Division I is like the top level of college. And there's a quarterback that got a full ride to the University of Oregon.
And at the time, Oregon was in the top 3 always.
Oh yeah, they're still up there. I
Yeah.
mean, but this is just an incredible offensive juggernaut in the American football, and this kid was incredible. And Jake basically, it was a game that they were winning, and he just
They're up 32-0.
and he shouldn't even be in the game, and I don't know why he was. And he had him go on a rollout.
Yeah, rollout left.
Naked rollout.
And this kid who was a D1 cornerback
Rios,
came up and filled and put his hand out right as his foot was coming down. I can still see it today, and hit him just perfect. He went ass over tea kettle and snapped his ankle.
Here's his fibula, and it's doing this while he's flipping upside down, and we're standing next to each other, and it's not more than 10 yards away.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I was starting to announce Jake Rodriguez went around the right side. Oh.
Yep.
Over the microphone. And then silence. Because their top guy just went down, broken leg.
Oh, yeah, done.
Done. I mean, I'd never been in a full stadium.
That was
as quiet as that. It was eerie. So I go, oh, Chris is to my right, which always to my right.
Yep, always.
That's funny. And it started.
He must be your right hand man then.
I know. Well, he's Italian. The right hand.
If you know this, when I talk, my hands go crazy, and when I'm quiet, I just kind of keep them down.
So I turn, and he's already. I mean, it's so fast. He saw it.
Oh, I saw it in midair.
He's already halfway across the field on his way to the ambulance to go get some stuff because he knows it's a problem. So we just became really good friends since then.
Yeah.
And then that's
So
where I'm here.
So now you rushed ahead quite a bit. Let's take you a little bit back, Chris.
Yes.
So you're playing a little bit of the old rounders.
Oh yeah.
And
so I played college ball for a couple of years. Got injured, dislocated my shoulder, had to have complete shoulder reconstruction. That was the first time. And so with that, I had been coaching before that and coaching younger ball players, kids in their teens and going from there. And when I had to have surgery, it made me realize that I need to coach because it seemed like every time that I coached, I had ball players getting better and moving on to the next level like I was. So I thought, I'm going to get into coaching. So here and there, coaching this, coaching that, coaching this. And it was kind of cool because I learned many different ways of coaching. You can be the hard ass. You can the guy that is able to manipulate things to where ball players don't realize that they're getting better. And I tried many different ways. And I was always very straightforward and honest with my players. A lot of moms and dads didn't like that because they didn't understand the full-on honesty. But the one thing that came out of that was I was able to be a professional scout. I was able to be an associate scout for 3 years. And it was 3 of the funnest years that I had. And with that being said, I got to see numerous ball players, but it also gave me an infinity because I would go over and help my daughters who were softball players, gave me a passion for the game of softball. So when I chose to step down from scouting, I went over to the softball side and fell in love with it even more so than I was already. And I did a little bit of coaching. I was fortunate enough to work at a school to where I did 8 years on the baseball field, 3 years on the football field, and 1 year on the softball field. Now, with that being said, in the 30 years, I went to the Dominican Republic and got to coach down there for 8 years. 3 of those years as a professional scout. And one of my good friends is based out of Seattle, Washington, and was a pro baseball player, retired. His name is Jim Parquet. And he goes down to the USA LABC tournament every year down in the Dominican Republic and thrives. I was able in the 8 years to win 4 times as a coach. So to me, that was pretty special to be able to do that. Now, the best part about it is I've been able to coach against MVPs of the MLB, work with some of the best ball players in the world. I had a kid when I was down in the Dominican Republic. We were just kind of talking BS, and this kid's huge. He's like 6'12" and just long and lanky. And then come to find out, which I didn't know, is he was 15 and ended up getting signed by the Orioles the next year, because when down there you have to get signed by the time you're 16, right? Or else you're pretty much done. So he got signed, and I'll tell you what, watching his progression, he didn't quite make it to the big leagues, but the little things that I was able to help him with and show him, which wasn't much, I'll be the first one to tell you, I was able to see the transformation from him being just this lanky, goofy kid to this kid that actually started being able to focus a little more and a little more. So it was kind of cool to see. It was pretty sweet. Now, when I went over to the softball side, I worked with a lot of players, got to go to a lot of events, got to work camps. And I met a coach by the name of Nicole Borg. And ironically enough, she went to Cappuccino High School as well. And she is probably one of the best coaches I'd ever talked to, worked with, so on and so forth. And she gave me an opportunity, and I was able to do some recruiting for her and coaching college softball with her. And then COVID hit. And everything.
So what's the difference between baseball and softball then in America?
So softball, this is the best way to put it. Softball's a little bit smaller of a field, a lot faster of a game, and it takes a lot more skill, intelligence, and power to play the game.
So is that where girls play it?
Yes. Because they're way more intelligent than us guys.
Yes.
Well, let's put it this way. Guys get 60 feet, 6 inches, right? To throw a ball for somebody to hit it. Girls get 43 feet to hit a ball going 70 miles an hour, which equates up to 108 to 110 miles an hour. Gosh. So your reaction time is like that.
Well, and the fastest ball ever thrown was a softball by a New Zealander. So
no, actually, well, if you're talking female or male, yes, he threw it equated out to 122 miles an hour, if I remember correctly, or something ridiculous like that. But there's this pitcher for Team Japan who threw 80 miles an hour, the first female softball player to throw actual 80 miles an hour, and I cannot remember her name, and it's going to kill me not to know. Monica Abbott threw 78 miles an hour. Kat Osterman was mid to upper 70s as well. So it was kind of cool. As you can see, I'm up in USA softball right now. Oh, wait, let me get in the camera shot. Oh, wait.
You gotta get the
So is that the national team?
Yeah, for the national team, yes. But what's cool is they go over to Japan and they play in Japan. The pro leagues in Japan are ridiculous. They had a pro league here called the NPF, which was pretty phenomenal, I thought. They ended up disbanding, and Athletes Unlimited took over, and they're doing it in a different way, which is actually kind of cool because it gets players more involved. I think that's just my feeling. So it's kind of cool how they do it. They have an 8-week season. I think they're actually going to extend it a little bit further, but you can catch all the games on ESPN. Definitely.
So coming up to COVID then, how has that changed what you guys do?
Gosh, it made things wild. I mean, we got busy.
We did.
And all of that is creating more and more things. Like it's kind of we might as well say it anyway, but we're now actually going into production of our own shows that are animated comedies. So that just from getting into this whole process of being entertaining, well, trying to be entertaining.
Yes.
Interviewing people.
I mean, we're funny looking and funny smelling sometimes, but that's,
But we're doing that. But another thing we've been talking about is actually creating something, because we've interviewed 100 and almost 200 people, right?
Yeah, almost 200 people now.
And it's interesting because we're pulling so much like just life skills from what people are sharing with us. that we're actually going to talking about either a book or a program or a series of stuff that kind of pulls some of the juice out of some of these great things and then sharing it back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's coming from this, but it was all created, sadly, by COVID.
Yeah.
Because it got us busy.
If you can say there was a good thing that happened in COVID, this is it.
Yeah.
We've met so many interesting people, from musicians to authors to psychics to healers to the big.
me.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, it's been my favorite. What's my favorite word?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
We love it. And what's also cool is in our area, we've been asked, and outside of our area too, let's be honest, we've been asked to start a sports channel. So that's going to be coming out. So should we let them know?
Why not? I mean, it's already happening.
Yeah.
What Up Sports Nation is coming out. We'll probably have it out in August, maybe sooner than that. It just depends. We got a lot of great interviews that are coming up.
Moving stuff.
Yeah,
Moving.
I can't wait.
Basically,
I'm excited.
Basically, it's my sports company local that we decided we're taking national.
Yep.
And so this same concept with what we're interviewing people and like you're interviewing people, we actually started focusing on local sports athletes more in depth. Because whenever you have an interview, like you see a sports person on TV, what do you get? Like 20-second bits? Or
If you're lucky.
5-second bits sometimes. I mean, they're just so short.
Unless you're lucky enough to get a 30 for 30.
Right. And so what we're doing is we're getting in depth into these athletes who are phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
These kids, I mean, we just had
absolutely
like the state championship wrestler girl, Leah
Brown.
And what I learned from her was phenomenal. But she actually at the end of it said, the reason why I bring her up, because we have incredible interviews.
Oh yeah.
But she said to me, it's the first time I've had an interview where I could really talk about myself.
Yes.
And I was like, that's the magic. That's what we're going for. And so we want to bring that to the nation, is to really get into more in-depth interview of maybe not your Michael Jordans and your LeBron James and stuff like that. Although we want to interview them. But the reality is these people coming up, these kids, the dedication,
oh my God,
the commitment. I mean, we've got a kid, like I call it, like they're ours, right? Like, because we interviewed them and they're they're ours now.
They are ours. Nobody else's.
The guy, or this kid's going to Air Force. He was a freshman American football player from freshman year. He started.
Yeah, he was.
But that guy
legit.
gets up and he's working out at 4 a.m. in the morning every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it blows my mind.
That time doesn't exist unless you're going to bed at that sort of time after a night out.
I know it's there out there in the world.
No, that's the other guy that does it.
Yeah.
But so that's the kind of thing we're going after.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the people that we are interviewing, especially in the young kids, you can see just in the way that they talk why they are going to be D1 athletes or just college athletes, period. It's truly amazing. It's unheralded, the athleticism and the maturity that we have in this area, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we American football is big. It's huge out here, and it's not obviously around the world, but we're diving into not just. I mean, we've got track athletes,
underwater basket weaving,
tennis. We're going after everything. We're actually interviewing today a baseball coach.
Yep.
We're working on a track coach who took a bunch of kids to the state championship.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, these are just incredible things. But we've even taken some things. We just had an amazing week the week before.
Oh my God, yeah.
And we met a bunch of ex-athletes, UFC Hall of Famer
Ken Shamrock.
That's supposed to be on our show. There's a lot of ex-NFL players in Major League Baseball. Today we were interviewing a pro golfer.
Yep.
So we're taking it bigger at the same time, and we don't know how to place that in what we're doing new now.
Yes.
So that's what the hard part. Do we keep those people in the What Up with Rob and Chris and just leave the preps to What Up Sports Nation? Because that's the niche we're trying to fill.
Yes.
Is preps. Preps and kids going to college. And to say, we're talking about D1 kids. I don't care who you are. and what sport you play. If you're playing at the next level,
and that can be junior college ball in our area, D3, NAIA, D2, whatever it is.
Whatever. If you've moved on, you've done something amazing.
Heck yeah.
Just like that's the incredible part.
Oh,
and so I'm looking at those kids too, that you don't have to be a Division I prospect to give a lot of perspective on life.
Yep.
Which is what we're after. If you're a kid in high school and you've played and you've done well and whatever that is, if you're moving on to junior college, you're amazing. And I want to hear what the commitment took for you to do that. What was it like in the class?
What's your story?
Please. That's the difference we're trying to make in what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, my story was I was a telemark skier and I skied for the British Army at telemark.
Wow.
And I raced at it. And I was on the first Army telemark team to take on the Royal Navy in Le Memoir in France in 2005.
Oh, wow.
And the Army team actually won, but they wouldn't let us keep the trophy because it wasn't the done thing. But the following year, the Army telemark set up the British Telemark Championships, and we went to a place called Rauis in Austria. And we skied there every year for about 6 years before it moved to PLV in France. So, and I skied for all those years. I took teams down there of guys and competed at that level. And I was number 6 in the Army at one stage, which was pretty good going for an old boy.
Yeah. What a baby. I love it. That's a great story.
And telemark skiing doesn't get the coverage that it really does deserve because it is such a fascinating spectator sport. From if you can imagine the GS, the ski races on the GS, giant slalom.
Yeah.
Well, we do it slightly different because we've got a free hill. We're coming down the same slopes that they're skiing on, but we've got a jump to go over, and you have to clear a distance, else you get a fault. The gates you go through, you have to go through in the telemark stance, so you have to get down and change to go through the gates. So you're coming over the jump, going through the gates. Then you get a wrap, which is a 360-degree wrap that you've got to go round.
Oh, wow.
You spit out of that, and then you go into generally a skate section. And a skate section generally involves an uphill finish. So by the time you started at the top, you come down through 40-odd gates, you've gone across the jump, you've come round the wrap, and you've skated for about 300 meters, you are hanging out.
How long is that race?
It's the same as a GS race. It's about 40 gates.
Okay.
Plus the jump, plus the wrap.
You don't even have to go that far in my car.
Plus
especially now with gas prices. But
True.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way of getting around.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you've got the GS, you've got the classic, which is just a jump, and then you get the sprint, which is a slightly shorter course. So you somewhere around about sort of 25, 30 gates, the jump, the wrap, and a slightly shorter skate section. And then you get the parallel racing, so which is on a slightly shorter course, and you're scared to get up against somebody else, and you've got the jump, the wrap.
Can you hit them? Can you like bump into them and everything?
Oh, yeah, there's all that goes on. I mean, it's a bit of skullduggery. I mean, it's a
aggressive skiing.
and the British Army were the first British team to run an FIS international race ever.
Huh.
Interesting.
Britain running that.
Yeah.
And it was the British Army that hosted it in Rauis in I forget which year it was now, but it's about 2012, somewhere around about there.
All right.
So we hosted the FIS World Championship telemark ski race.
Nice.
Pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the British Army are doing it pretty well.
Yeah.
And we're up against the Royal Navy and the Marines as well. I mean, it's a pretty much, it was the first way of skiing, basically, invented by a guy called Sondre Nordheim in Norway a long time ago, just to get around the mountains, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
Kind of cool.
You can use that piece on your interviewing a professional ski racer.
You know, it made me think too. It's like he's in Britain. Like the concept of sports is totally different than what it is here.
You got football, which is our soccer.
Yeah.
And
that's probably the biggest thing out there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny old sport, soccer. I haven't got any time for it at all, personally. You know, when I'd sooner gouge my eyes out with a blunt spoon than watch soccer. But,
now, Ireland has hurling. Do you guys have hurling too?
Oh, that's a dangerous game. That's a very, very dangerous game.
Watch, though.
Yeah. Don't play that game. It's rough.
Play
rugby.
Rugby's a safer bet.
Yeah. I seen a bumper sticker saying, "Give blood, play rugby."
True story.
It.
So rugby started to get pretty big out here as well.
You got a national team as well.
Yeah, we do, but we're more into the sevens. It seems like
sevens is a really fast game.
Wow!
Played on the same size pitch as a 15.
Yep.
But you've only got 7 blokes got to cover the same distance. Crazy game.
You know what's crazy? We have lacrosse starting to happen because it was such an East Coast thing. We're starting to see a lot of lacrosse over here now.
Well, we got the Placer in our area. We have what's called the Placer Rugby Team or Association, and I'll tell you what, they go travel throughout the whole United States to play. So it's kind of cool to watch.
You know what? Good knowledge here on rugby.
Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers, American football team, started as a rugby team out of Petaluma, the Leghorns.
Really?
Yeah. That's where the organization came from.
Wow, the Leghorns.
Yeah. Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Useless trivia. All right. Yeah, there we go.
It was there. I had to use it. I never knew I'd use it someday in my life, but it's been there waiting.
Yep.
So anyway, we've gone way off target.
Oh yeah,
that's us. That's us. Yeah, we're way off target. Just look at us.
So I don't even know where we got to. I guess we covered most of it. We got your schooling in, and we got you're moving through
a little bit of
your work life, doing lots of coaching and stuff. So nowadays, are you like doing this professionally? Your media company is a professional company. That's what you do all day. That's how you make your living.
No,
not all day. We got to have real jobs. This is our fun job.
This is our fun job, but it's starting to do some fun stuff. So it's kind of the next level to make that happen.
Yep.
We're starting a production company that we've just launched that does all of this stuff called Damn It Richard.
Yep. Damn It Richard Productions.
Because, Richard is another term for dick, and he always says, Damn it, Richard, to me. Oh, I'm Richard.
Yeah.
So we named it that because it was funny.
Yeah.
Right. And
that was hysterical.
So that's some of the stuff that we're moving to. Hopefully that it does take over.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of those things. We've kind of got some stuff figured out, how algorithms work and how to make money from it.
Yeah.
So that's starting to turn.
We're going to be helping somebody do a music video in August.
Yeah, we're actually flying out to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yep.
To be the filmmakers for a highly awarded country singer's music video.
Last year alone, she won 18 awards.
Is that all?
2 this year, right?
I suppose she was in lockdown, so he had nothing better to do at the time.
Coming up this year.
Yeah.
But there's some cool people that we've let's talk about some of the people we've interviewed. We've interviewed Dennis Seaton, who's in England.
Oh my God, yeah. You know Dennis Seaton, Musical Youth?
Old singer.
Yeah.
Pass the Dutchie on
the left-hand side.
I was him the other day because Stranger Things on Netflix just came out. Stranger Things 4. And that song, and he didn't even know that it was going to do because Sony owns it. And
Yeah.
so I don't think
So didn't get any royalties.
I don't know.
What I heard from before is that they didn't really get paid because Sony kind of decided they didn't want to pay him, and then when they found out the time for them to go back and sue wasn't there,
Yeah.
so I don't think much of anything from it. But he does tour.
Oh yeah. It's kind of cool. He's going to be out in our area, and we're going to go check him out.
Well, I am. We had an opportunity to meet him in Los Angeles,
and I couldn't go.
He couldn't make it, so I got to meet him. So I can't wait to see him again. I can't wait till Chris gets to meet him. He's one of the great guys.
Oh yeah.
Actress Sheila Kennedy,
oh,
who actually, but a documentary movie out right now in Britain, in England. I don't know if that was offensive to say Britain or England.
I don't know.
Right. But it's over there.
I mean, it's Great Britain.
Well, it's
Northern Ireland.
Say that again, Tim.
It's the United King of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Is the full title.
So that's worse. I lost my track of thought.
Sheila Kennedy, the tell-all.
The tell-all. So she did a book of tell-all, and so a group from over there came over and filmed her and included in this documentary from all these women that were kind of groupies, I guess you call it, from top Rolling Stones and that kind of stuff who hung around with us guys.
Roses, all that.
So that came out over there, and I can't even see it. Can't even get a link.
Yeah,
I've been trying, but it's up for like what would be the British Grammys or Oscars or whatever it is for. So that apparently she just told me that a couple weeks ago. So we've interviewed some amazing people.
We have
and it's just keeps
alive.
And this guy.
Oh, we had so much fun with Tim.
Oh my God!
I mean, you had me on the show. I mean,
you didn't even know what hit him.
Actually, the last time I noticed, it had somewhere about nearly over 3,500 hits, downloads. Yep. This particular episode of mine.
Yeah.
They liked you.
Gone viral. I'm viral in America.
No.
Things are starting to happen. I'm serious.
Well, worldwide, actually.
Worldwide.
Must be worldwide.
Oh, yeah. We get people from all over the world. It's crazy.
Kenya,
India, Uzbekistan, wherever that is, Tokyo, Japan, all over. So it's kind of cool. Australia.
The hard bit is he's getting the time zone and the time of the day right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, luckily we're just a recorded show, so we don't go live. Yeah. So, it didn't come in any time I want. The day that I get somebody from Antarctica.
Antarctica.
It's the day we've made it.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many people down there, actually.
But if I get somebody
from the Arctic,
I can hang up.
Many people up there.
My mic and be good.
No.
Yeah.
He won't hang up his mic. No, I won't let him.
Yeah.
What up with Chris? Hey, actually, that sounds good. What up, Chris? No, anyway.
No. What up, Robin Kiss?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Robin, Chris and Richard.
Yep, that's right. Or Todd.
Well, guys, I think what is your day jobs? Are you still coaching or?
So I've retired from coaching. I got medically retired. I was like he said, I was an EMT. I worked on an ambulance for 15 years, and now I work at a casino. I get to pay people blackjacks, or not blackjack, jackpots.
And if you didn't know, we went to Vegas this year, and Chris won the hot oil wrestling competition. It was all women except two guys, and it ended up being the two guys at the end. This guy won it in Vegas. It was amazing. Actually, that's not true, but I told everybody in the elevator, everywhere we went. That's what we were there for.
Oh, when we were there, also, we got to see our good friend, Greg Baldwin.
That's right.
He's a comedian. We interviewed him as well, and he opens for Daryl Hammond and Jay Moore a lot. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. Oh, yeah.
Quite busy then.
Good job.
I sell hot tubs.
Yes, he does.
I do. I sell hot tubs. That's what I do.
Is that going to get a little bit more difficult at the moment because of the price of energy going up? I don't know whether it's the same over there, but the price of energy is going up astronomically over here at the moment. And consequently, that's having a knock-on effect on the amount of energy that you're using to heat your hot tub.
Well, luckily my hot tubs are always on and they're really efficient. The biggest thing is that because of COVID, everybody's trying to fix up their backyards and homes. So if they get locked down again, they have somewhere to enjoy. And the spa industry went crazy. So yeah, it's been good. It's slowing down back to normal again. Yeah. But I think if we lock down again, then it was boom again.
No.
Yeah.
Just say no.
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, just say no. I mean, the next one is monkeypox.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm upset because we were supposed to get murder hornets. We didn't get murder hornets, and we were supposed to get aliens, and they kind of failed.
They're almost here, allegedly.
We were supposed to get aliens, so I don't know. I feel like we're skipping steps, and we really need those other ones. That I think
aliens, Bigfoot.
You got an alien in the White House, haven't you?
You said it, not me, but I absolutely agree.
Yeah, but I didn't say who. I didn't say who in the White House.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh. It's so bad.
It is.
It's okay. We have bad in California. It should be seen.
You got Arnie, ain't you?
No, Arnie's been out for a while. We got Newscomb.
We got, Gavin. Who
what was Arnie like?
He was cool. I mean, the problem was he was a Republican and California is run by Democrats, and so everything that he wanted to do, they turned him down for.
Oh yeah.
And then as soon as he got out of office, they went and did everything that he proposed because it was their idea.
Yeah.
Which is just dumb. Like, do something. I don't care what side you are. Do what's right for the people.
Yeah.
That's just not happening. Like they just the other day, D-Day, right? Was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they California Latino Veterans Day. Why? Like that's what we're paying them to do is to sit around and make those kind of weird laws. Like we have brutal taxes and they're raising taxes July 1st.
Again.
And they're killing us. Anyways, I don't want to go down into
our taxes are nothing like yours, though. I'll say that.
That's true.
You guys are crazy.
Your fuel price is nothing like ours either.
No.
Truth.
You got better transit though.
Yeah. And
everything's built around
everywhere.
Yeah.
And the pub's like 3 feet away from you, so it's even perfect.
Absolutely.
Right.
Anyway, guys, what a chat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got today.
Yes, we were very tame today.
You were. And you kept the language down as well, which is fantastic for my audience.
Damn it.
Good. Hey.
What?
Richard.
Hey.
Anyway.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Tim. It's been a pleasure.
Tim, thank
you. Next time we could do a pool scene.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Go swimming, listening in the sun.
I've got to come back on your show as well because
absolutely. Which Chris.
That's right. At www.whatup.live.
That's right. You can check us out there anytime.
Oh yeah. Say hi. Say what up. We're also on Instagram and what else? Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We're gonna really get that going. Oh boy.
All over the place like a rash. Alice Uber to Platts.
We need to do the European tour.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I want to go pubbing with you.
Oh, and also you can find Christopher Pera on IMBD.
Yes, I am on IMBD now.
Which, if Tim, anybody who's interested in branding your podcast and everything, check out today's show that posted today. Vinny.
Oh God, yeah.
Steve-O.
Unbelievable.
The guy worked from MTV. He is helping people all over the world just how to blow up their podcasts and everything from his experience. I mean, he's a kid that started the Road Rules, went into the challenge.
Oh my God, yeah.
Connected with all that stuff and built brands of people.
Unbelievable.
And what he's offering is incredible. Told Chris and I to get IMBDs because once our interview went up, he posted in his IMBD a link and that goes all over. That's a huge credit.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just one little secret to that. It's a long interview, but there's so much gold that gets into like such amazing sauce that you can use.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good one to check out.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Good call.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
What up?
What up?
Yeah. Tim, thank you for having us. We
Thank you,
greatly
Tim.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.